Okay, so this is actually a video request from somebody who asked me to talk about what I thought of bow front tanks, and I also am going to talk about some of the other different types of tanks. So we'll start off with your basic rectangle. The advantages of getting one of those: they're going to be pretty cheap for the number of gallons that you get. They're also readily available. Disadvantage would be the look compared to other more expensive tanks without like the rim on them or the brace that you see, like this thing here. The rimless tanks look a lot better in my opinion. Bow front tanks, or any tank with a curved face, a positive of those, the viewing angles you can get are pretty unique compared to like a rectangle tank. But they usually are a little more expensive for if you compared it to a rectangle of the same size. They're usually a little taller, and I don't know, some people like that look. I kind of prefer the long, shallow tanks. I've heard people say that sometimes it's hard to find compatible hoods or lights for them, and also there can be a distorted image when viewing them. Now, cube tanks, I really like these. You'll see a lot of nano tanks that are cube shaped, which means they're like the same dimensions for length, width, and height. They're also very large tanks that are cube shaped. You can really do a lot of cool stuff aquascaping these because they're actually a really good centerpiece for like a room, and then you can design it so it's viewable from all angles. A lot of area on the bottom, so you can have a lot of different types of fish. But they usually are a little more expensive, and it can be hard to find stands for them since they're not really common. Then you have your long, low, rimless tanks. Some of them aren't rimless, but a lot of them are. They're also the breeder tanks, which have a lot of area on the bottom. They have a more width, so you can get a little more depth when you're looking at them. A little easier to aquascape because you have a lot of area. Since they are low, you don't need a really big light to get strong light at the bottom of the tank. So that's an advantage. You don't have to pay for an expensive light because even a weak light will reach the bottom. It's also easier for maintenance. You don't have to reach your whole arm into the tank. It's really easy to move stuff around. A negative for specifically the rimless tanks, they're usually a lot more expensive, and it's hard to find them sometimes. You usually have to order them online. Next you have your tall or hexagon tanks. Positive of these, they have less area on the bottom, so if you don't have a lot of space and you just want to fit it into a smaller area. There's also some more possibilities with the layering of different types of fish. Like you can get fish that like to swim on the top, the middle, and the bottom area. That's something you can't do with the really low tanks. There's usually just the top and the bottom layer. Also, you can get some really big plants and kind of let them grow out instead of having to trim them all the time. Negative, it's sort of hard to aquascape these since you don't have a lot of area, but I've seen a lot of people do cool stuff with them. And maintenance, if you have a really tall tank, it can be hard to get all the way to the bottom, and you have to kind of reach your whole arm down there. So that's a pretty good summary, I think, of all the different types of tanks. Usually it just comes down to personal opinion and what you can afford, but hopefully this helped anyone trying to decide what type of tank they're looking for. And if you'd like to see another video of something, or you have a question about something you want me to make a video about, please leave that in the comments below, and thank you for watching.